Wow, Ryan, that was full. I'm getting in my suit. Oh my God. Dude. That thing was nuts. Most professional surfers grew up in a place such as Southern California, where there's a rich coastline of many different types of waves and a lot of consistency in their surf. Or places like the North Shore of Oahu or the Gold Coast of Australia, where these places produce some of the top talented surfers in the entire world. Well, I'm from the East Coast, and here on the East Coast, we don't have any of that. Our waves aren't as consistent. And when we do get waves, they're gone in a flash. But somehow, some way, I grew up in a town that is home to a novelty wave gold mine. The craziest thing is that all these waves are within 1 mile of each other. So today, I'm gonna take you through my New Jersey novelty slice of heaven. I'm excited to share this with you guys because this is a place where pretty much the prominent reason that I even have a surfing career. It's interesting to think about, but a lot of my viral videos and a lot of the reason that I am where I am today is because waves that I've surfed right here on these beaches. It's just crazy because there's a lot of long, flat beaches in New Jersey, and it's just awesome. And I feel blessed that I got to grow up with this sneaky little inlet where somehow, some way, there's all these epic little waves. Hope you enjoy.
Doctor says I got the symptoms, but who the f likes doing long division when you can see a boob on television? They call it scumbag dereliction. Ooh, baby, I'm a dreamer. Misguided youth, I'm always staring out the window, eating Ritalin and playing my Nintendo. I learned all the special moves and all I wanted was a snow day. The beginning of the end has finally started. All alone I bite my nails until they bleed, and medication calls my name from the nightstand. I got $1 in my...
Right now we're leaning on the pipe here. Stop number 1 on the tour, the break that I like to refer to as Skeleton Bay. This wave I've gotten some of the longest rides of my life. Granted, they weren't the most beautiful, polished performance rides, but they were some of the longest and most thrilling and fun rides I've ever had. The break starts all the way up there at that rock pile and runs all the way down this rocky beach. And if you can make it past the rocks and the rebar, you get a bonus section on the end, and the wave allows you to shoot underneath this dock right here. To me, this is a complete and total phenomenon. I can't even believe it exists. And the beauty of this is that this is not meant to be a surf spot. This is a fishing beach. But when we get the right swell, it comes in perfectly and allows us to ride waves all the way through. That's Skeleton Bay. It's an epic spot. Just behind me is the world famous El Slamo. This is the second stop on our tour. El Slamo is probably the most popular out of all my novelty waves. It has gotten hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, featured on the WSL and countless other huge media outlets, multiple TV shows, so on and so forth. And El Slamo is known for exactly what it's called. It is known for slamming you. There's a lot of broken boards, a lot of smashed noses, and a lot of dings here. I've lost a few boards to El Slamo, but it was worth every inch of fiberglass because El Slamo is just one of those waves that it's a total unicorn. I've had the same swell direction here at El Slamo and 2 different results. You never know exactly what this wave is going to do, and the sand shifts a lot. But if you get it on the right day, you can get 4 to 5 foot dredging, boxed out, barreling waves. It's all within a tiny little area that this wave breaks, so it's something that we love. When it goes off, it kind of gets a little packed out here, and everybody's just always hooting each other into the wave, and everybody's always having fun. That's one of the best things about this wave. The surfing community down here at El Slamo, and it is now a legitimate surf community. Slam Fest 2017, heavy crew, was based off of having fun and enjoying ourselves. That's what we're all about, and El Slamo is something else. You really have to surf it to understand it. I've gotten a lot of amazing rides out here, some of the best little barrels in my life. No matter what, no matter how good of a wave you get out here at El Slamo, you can never tame this beast. She has a mind of her own. It's more than just a slamming wave. It sets up barrels, it sets up air sections, and even some days you can get multiple maneuvers on one wave. For some reason, if it's flat everywhere else, this break draws in the most swell, and there's always a little wave here. El Slamo for the win. All right now I'm standing in front of a wave that we have been referring to as the secret spot since I was about 8 years old. This wave comes and goes with the dredging beach construction and the always migrating sand. So this sandbar is very full right now. Sometimes there is no sandbar here. However, this wave can get really good, and it can get really big. Actually, it holds a pretty big swell. There's 3 different takeoff spots over here. All the way out the back, there is just the basic main peak where you'll see clips of like me and my dad surfing, or the longest rides I get on longboard sometimes is that peak. And other days, when I can find a little inside peak off the rock, you'll see me riding that secondary peak right next to the jetty, getting super close to the jetty, but getting really long rides down the rocks, and that sets up beautifully. And then now, with all this sand built up, a 3rd peak is formed, something that we like to refer to as the Waco Wedge. The Waco Wedge is actually a right, it's against the grain. You take off, you can pump a couple times, and by the time you're down the line, the wedge from the left starts coming at you, and you head right into a nice air section or turn section or just a little barrel. So this spot is pretty epic. 3 little peaks, and it just depends on what the swell direction's doing, how big it is, and what the tide's doing. But you can usually always find something to have a whole lot of fun on while surfing out here. All right, this is the spot that I would refer to as the main break. This is the actual beach down here. This is an actual surfable wave for beginners and just regular surfers who aren't interested in novelties, thrills, and surfing over rocks. This is a solid little right runner. Breaks off the rocks out here. I've gotten countless amazing rides out here. Super fun little barrels, multiple turn waves, solid air sections, and this is just an all-around fun summer wave. For the most part, it maxes out here really easily. So usually if there's an actual swell, anything over 3 foot, you're looking for another place to surf. But for a fun summer, little wedgy, rampy beach, main break is the place to go. The boys enjoy it all the time, so stoked on this beach replenishment, because now we have all these factors playing in. You can almost follow these sandbars with the tide and always find a little corner. Let's get in the car and check out the last couple breaks. It's crazy to think that just a short half a block away you have this gem sitting here. Now this wave doesn't actually break anymore, but I've gotten my fair share of swells pushing through here and found some amazing waves just under these docks right here. And then the swell starts pushing down that way. Seems like they have this place pretty locked down nowadays. This isn't a private bulkhead though, that's impossible. Bulkheads are public, so I don't know what that sign's all about. But yeah, this used to be a good wave. And this is the wave that I refer to as the original bay wave, because it's the first one that I found besides El Slamo, and it's the first one that I got epic footage and photos at. Sick spot. One of the factors of this area and El Slamo is that it's very, very restricted. I've been surfing here for years and I've had my fair share of run-ins with the law down here, but now it seems like we have everything worked out, what's legal, what's not, and it's all working in perfect harmony these days. This is another one of our local treasures. I've only had the honor of surfing this place 2 times. And one was during Winter Storm Stella, where the surf was like 12 feet at 16 seconds or some ridiculous wave height. This isn't something that breaks very often, but this is what we like to refer to as a total unicorn, because when it does break, did anybody really even see it? Because by the time it breaks, you're usually surfing somewhere else, or you can only get a couple waves before the tide swings and ends the session. But super sick. You can take off over here, surf under the dock. It's a full novelty dream over here. This is another unicorn wave that I've only gotten the opportunity to surf twice. This wave is breaking out in the middle of the bay. It's crazy to think I'm parked here in the street, sitting at the bulkhead, and I'm looking out about a quarter mile into the bay, and there's waves breaking across the middle of the bay, where there's usually boats driving around. But if you get the right swell, some waves will get in here, and you can get a super long ride all the way across the middle of the bay. And it's really gnarly. It's a total mind. When the sandbar's right, you can catch a wave in front of the buoy and get it all the way into the inside here. Usually just a longboard spot, but once again, novelty gold. All right, guys, we have come to the last stop on our novelty dream tour. Obviously, right now, this doesn't look like much. And this way is about a mile from the inlet. So it takes a lot for the waves to get in here, for any swell to get in here. But I've surfed this place multiple times and it is a total phenomenon. The wave comes in, bounces off the dock, and pushes back out into the bay. And this is full-blown bay. This is 100% bay. This is a mile from the inlet. So more than a mile from the ocean itself. This wave is something that is very special to me because this is not meant to be a surf spot. And I think the beauty of all this is that we're finding epicness in the mediocre, and we're finding greatness where greatness isn't supposed to be. So for me, that's the beauty of surfing. There's room for this. This is part of surfing because most people don't get to surf perfect head-high barrels every day of their lives. And I'm one of those people. This is what I have. This is how I grew up. This is what I've studied. And this is what I've learned, and I'm glad that I can share the waves that I've caught out at these breaks with you guys. Even though they're not Pipeline or Snapper Rock or Rincon, California, they are in their own special way, a very novelty way. They are epic. That ends our tour for today. Thank you guys for checking out my 1 mile miracle, and the tide's coming up, so I'm going surfing. Hope you guys have a good day. NUB Nation for the win, and thank you for everything. See you soon.